The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests fairly reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Step outside of your comfort zone. See the world with a whole new perspective. Join us and experience the unexplained on the Paranormal View.
And welcome everybody right here to the Paranormal View on the Parax Radio Network. I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. And they're saying they don't hear anything, but it should be working. Let me know if you don't. Probably take a second for you to hear something, but it should be working. And,
it's working. Go.
Okay, I hear you. All right, sounds good. I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. Unfortunately, it should be a great show, but unfortunately, it'll probably be our last one, except for replays. I'm retiring, and we want to make it a great show. We've got a whole lot of people lined up that wants to be with us tonight. And I believe right now we have with us Ceiling Cat.
Who has the mic muted and his mouth full. No.
Hello. And we got Jeff with us.
Hello, hello.
All right. We got Kat Klockow in yet? Not yet? Okay.
We have Tabby. Tabby Cat.
Tabby Cat, you're here.
Yep.
All right. Good. And I'm sure that there's going to be some others coming in. Dave Jones is going to try and be on for a few minutes if we can get him in. And I don't know who else is going to be dropping by to say hi or whatever, just to chat. And that's all we're going to be doing tonight is chatting and talking about all the things that we've done on the Paranormal View, people that's been on, the great guests, and all of our great co-hosts, which the show would not have been what it is without all the people that's helped me, and I appreciate it. With that, we've got Barbara, and I'm sure she's probably got some things to say. We got Sarge. Well, I don't know if Sarge is going to say anything, but we got Cat Gasch, Tabby Cat Gasch. We got Kat Klockow, and we got Pat on tonight. Looks like too. So,
Are you looking for? Are you going to try? Is Beth or Craig coming on or
no?
Craig said that he might not. He moved and his internet was wonky, so he wasn't sure if he'd be able to get on or not. He's going to try.
I've already talked with him. We got Darcy on.
Yep.
We got a whole bunch of people. Marla's on tonight. Jeff Wilson's on with us.
speaking of Marla, before I say, and I'll say it when she comes on, of course, but happy 𝑚 night.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And a wicked solar eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
Solar eclipse? Where?
Not here. I think it's only in like Antarctica or somewhere like that. But
just
it's
penguins.
Tease, big tease.
No, this one's a doozy. So
like they really need more darkness up there.
Well, she's in Antarctica, so that's
Antarctica.
Either way,
penguins are in the south. Polar bears in the north.
The Coca-Cola commercials with polar bears interacting with penguins. I'm like, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
So did we get Kat Klockow on yet?
I'm trying. Hold on.
Okay. All right. The Paranormal View actually got started. Well, it didn't get started, but in 2008, I had been on ParaX a lot. Every day after work seemed like. And I got to know Tommy Jones and Dave Jones real well. And I guess it was in September of 2008, Tommy said, do you know where the 𝘸𝘪𝘵 Opera House is? And I said, yeah, it's only about 3 or 4 miles from me. He says, won't you go there and get me a phone number so we can set up an investigation? And I said, okay. So I went and did that, give him the phone number. And he says, now, when I get this set up, we want you to go with us. And I said, what, me in a haunted location? No way. Well, he got everything set up and told me when it was, and I believe it was in November 2008. And we all went and had dinner. And I mean, I was shocked. There was people from California, people from New York, people from Michigan. You name it, they must have been 30 people there having dinner. And it was at one of the steakhouses. I forget which one it was. And I was sitting next to Tommy, and we were talking and everything. And Tommy said, you know, we got a show on Friday night called The Paranormal View. And he said, I think you'd do a good job hosting it. And I said, what, me? I don't know anything about ghosts or paranormal or anything. He said, yeah, you'll do good. So he kept talking to me, and finally, late November, early December, I guess it was, he talked me into doing the show. And I had to get everything set up and everything. And we started in 2009 in January.
But you're not sure what date?
I'm not exactly sure what the date was, 6th or something like that.
Oh, okay, so the first Saturday, okay.
Yeah. Well, it was on a Friday. The show started out on a Friday, and it was a 2-hour show. Then I believe it was in close to June, I guess it was. They were supposed to be going to Fort Mifflin, and they had talked to us about going over to CBS Radio, but it would be simulcast over onto Para-X. So I said, okay, we can do that. The only problem was that we had to switch from Friday night to a Saturday night. And so we did our first show on CBS Radio at Fort Mifflin. We was with them maybe 6 months on CBS Radio. Then CBS Radio decided, well, we think you guys ought to start paying to be on CBS Radio. And I said, no way, we'll go back to Para-X and we'll do the show for free. So that's what we did, and we was on Para-X ever since. So that's how we actually got started. I picked up Jeff and Barbara, I guess it was, in what, 2009?
No, you're jumping the gun. I started January 2011.
2011?
You had Beth as your host at that time.
Okay. Well, she only stayed for a little while after that. And I had you and Barbara then, and I believe Craig came on for a while.
Oh, Craig came
first. I saw it. He only was on for a few months, but it seemed,
Yeah, he was only on for a few months.
Longer.
But he's been off and on a couple times, too. So anyway, I think it's been a great time. We've done, we got to do shows a lot of different places. Waverly, Hillview Manor, Gettysburg, Preble County Historical Society, Bell Nursing Home, David Stewart Farm, Fort Mifflin, Antietam, Ryan's Tavern, and the Haunted House in Middletown, Ohio. That's just to name a few of the places. I mean, we got to go to a lot of places and broadcast. So I really want to thank Barbara and Jeff for all the work that they've done and for helping me out immensely in being able to do the show. Sometimes my mind wanders and I don't remember what I'm doing. So I'd like to be able to, some of the things that you guys enjoyed doing on the show or places that we've been to broadcast from, and maybe even some of the top shows that you guys liked that we did. Because
Still, my favorite is Jeff's roommate scandal.
My premiere episode.
yeah.
One episode that sadly did not get taped. That would have been Redditor worthy. That was nuts.
That was, a train wreck in slow motion and in 3D. 3D. Yeah. It was quite a,
Yeah.
That was kind of my, taste of the Paranormal View was Jeff's roommate.
Really, trial by fire, seriously.
Woohoo. That was fun.
For those who haven't been around that long, what happened was I was living with a longtime friend whose dog had passed away, and her grief literally spiraled her into madness, and she began becoming increasingly narcissistic, really. And she decided that she wanted the apartment cleaned that time, despite the fact that constantly I was saying, I'm now going to be co-hosting this live radio show. It's not being recorded. It's going to be live. And she decided she didn't care because she ignored what I had said because it wasn't about her. And she just started interrupting while I was doing the show, and I didn't realize that the volume control on my speaker cable only did the volume to my headset. It didn't mute my mic, so it stayed on a hot mic. And everyone listening that night got to hear my friend having a nuclear mental breakdown that I wasn't, saying how high when she was saying jump. So, that was an interesting evening. And I'm thinking, and then eventually somebody texted in the chat saying, Jeff, we can hear you. You're live. And I'm thinking, I'm so friggin' fired. And fortunately, I said, I think I have to go. And Henry's like, don't worry. Your job is safe. Don't worry about it. So I had to go and placate my friend who a few nights later kicked me out without any due process at 10 o'clock at night. And I ended up where I've been since then with my friends who work with animals. Which is why I occasionally hear a rooster and stuff.
It's too bad we didn't screenshot the chat room that night because it was quite funny.
I felt so bad it wasn't recorded. It didn't get recorded at all. I mean, we were like the one show that would have been the one to rebroadcast like annually. It would have been great.
Unfortunately, sometimes we did have problems in recording and broadcasting. And I guess the first few shows that we did, let's see, I know they wasn't actually done good, and they were lost. So
Yeah.
I hate that.
But the one show that I wish we could have taped and we didn't was we got prodded Bruce Tango into singing Frank Sinatra's Summer Wind.
Oh, yeah.
That had
And I
been a trip.
really wish we could have got that one on tape because, we could have had fun with that one.
I think he's been on the Shock show, and Shock got him on and let him sing that, I believe.
Steve, if you're listening, make Bruce sing. He's got a great voice. It was wonderful. And I don't know if he'd ever sung before that. But we got him.
Sorry, did you get Dave on?
No, we got Kat on, though.
We got Kat Klockow on now?
Yep.
All right. And we got Kat Gasch on?
Yep.
Man. Sorry.
Meow, 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 meow.
It's all cat show now. Fortunately, without Judi Dench.
Kat Klockow hasn't been on for a while. And
This is making these awesome graphic novels with her partners, the Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities, that everyone should buy. I have my 2 autographed copies, so for their first 2 editions, and I look forward to number 3 and 4 and 5. So.
Yep, quite talented. Definitely talented, Kat.
she got awful quiet. So.
I got booted off the Skype line, but hello,
There
everyone.
she is.
It is
There
me.
she
It is Kat Klockow.
All
Coming
right.
up like a zombie
I'm not
from
kidding
the
that
dead.
you fell off while we were complimenting your graphic novel, your speech.
Why, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for supporting the graphic novel. It's been very fun to put together and a great way to dive into the strange and fringe history of Cincinnati, my adoptive town.
Adopted?
Yeah, I'm not from Cincinnati, but dang, do I know a lot about it now.
I remember when you, well, I won't say when you first came here, but I met you at one of those conventions down there.
In Dayton.
Was it? Yeah, it was at Dayton first.
It was in Dayton.
And
So
then
we're
I
going
met
north
you
first. Before we go south, we go north.
Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Beth was still a co-host.
Yes, she was in Dayton because we was doing a thing up there, and that's how I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was researching my first book at that point, and I was like, what is this paranormal convention? There's so many people. All tens of you. So many people. So,
the convention that they had there in Dayton, I think, didn't go over real well, did it?
Oh, no, because it was in Dayton. Sorry, Dayton. We love you here in Cincinnati, but sorry. You're right, Pat. Air Force Base is wonderful for all the UFO stuff.
Yes, it is. So I think what I'd like for you guys to do, Jeff, Barbara, Kat, why don't you give us some of the shows that you liked that we did and some of the places that we actually went to broadcast from? Because not everybody got to do those, but we've been to a lot of places.
Yes.
Well, I enjoyed once that, I think it was John Zaffis was with Craig out in Gettysburg, and they were trying to trigger the spirits by reenacting various historical figures. And Craig apparently was doing somebody who had been shot or fell and drowned into the creek there, and he went into the creek and he submerged. And the person who was with him kept trying to call him and hoping he'd come up, and all I could say out loud was, well, looks like we're getting a new co-host.
No, that was actually Antietam, Jeff.
Was that
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I was there at the time. Yeah, and it was hilarious. He was reenacting somebody going across Antietam Creek, and it was so hot that day. It had rained earlier, and it was hot and muggy and sticky. And he said, "You want me to go in that nice, cool water?" "Oh yeah." So the next thing you know, Craig just dived in, and everybody's waiting for him to come up, and waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally he come up. It was funny. He came off on the other side, and it was hilarious. But yeah, that was it.
Would have been funnier if like a skull head came up next to him, like in Poltergeist.
Oh no.
That's some method acting there, just really getting into it.
Oh yeah, that was the first time that I ever really paid much attention to the Paranormal View. That was in 2011, and Craig decided to do a paranormal investigation that night from Antietam live on the Paranormal View, and so that was the first time I had ever heard of it, and I started listening to it, and the rest is history.
Yes.
Do I hear that Dave is on?
Yeah, as part of history. This is Dave. How you guys doing? It's been way too long.
It has been, dude.
14 years. And here's the thing, which I reminded him, you should have already known, that you guys have been on the air longer than I have. So you should see.
I've been to a lot of places with Dave, traveling around, and I just want to thank you for you and Tommy for giving me the opportunity to try and do a radio show, because I had no idea what I was doing to start with.
Well, it was our place. And the thing about this, Henry, and I don't know if it's ever been done anywhere else, ever. Okay, so you were the first that was ever invited to do a show with someone who has never, right at that point in time, has never had any paranormal experience. You experienced no paranormal anything. As a matter of fact, you kept saying, I want to experience something. So you got to host a paranormal show and have never experienced anything paranormal at all. Up to that point. Now, hopefully that's changed. I haven't talked to you since then. I don't know if you've had any encounters or not. But, at that point in time, poor Henry, all this stuff was happening, and Henry was about 5 or 10 seconds too early or too late to see what was going on. So, hopefully he's had something now.
No, I have been able to, and I don't think that I've ever actually experienced hardly very much witnessing. Very few times have I even had anything, but I have recorded tons and tons of great EVPs.
Yes.
I know there was this one place we was at called the David Stewart Farm, or not David Stewart Farm, but Preble County Historical Society. And there was a little girl ghost that was upstairs. And I used to go up there and just talk all the time with the docent that was there. And it was only one time I felt a little hand on the back of my shoulder for about 5 seconds. Just a friendly, like, I'm here type thing. And that was it. It never did anything else then.
Isn't that the mansion?
Was she the Smiler?
That's what
Do what?
Was she the Smiler?
Oh.
No.
This is the Preble. No, that's Preble County. That's not the one that's the mansion. No.
No,
I'm
it's
confusing
an old
my
farmhouse.
local.
It's an old farmhouse in Preble County.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with the snakes in the basement?
I don't go in the basement.
But did it have the snakes in the basement?
That's the one that had the snakes in the basement, yes.
That's what I thought.
And the reason for that was back in the 1800s because of, different rats or mice or whatever. People would introduce black snakes and stuff in the basement, which would feed on all the rodents like that and kept it down. So, but yeah, very interesting stuff there. I think the first night that we did that place, it was me and my son Tim and Marcus. And my son went upstairs, and me and Marcus was downstairs trying to get someone to talk. And it must have been about 15 minutes. My son comes downstairs, and he's all shook up. He says, "Dad," he said, "there's this little kid up there trying to talk to me, but he's real soft. You just barely can hear like whispers." He said, "I can't make out what he's saying," but he was so shook up he had to go outside for a little bit. And me and Marcus went upstairs and never got anything on my recorder or anything. But when my son had come downstairs, he'd left his recorder going on the bed, left it running. And when we went back and listened to it, after he come downstairs, you hear this little kid holler, "Come back." He wanted to talk some more. But it wasn't a whisper. I mean, it was a plain out loud, "Come back" type thing. So you get all kinds of good stuff like that.
You sure do.
Just be patient.
I hate to bail on good company, guys, but my daughter's come over to visit with me. That's the reason I want to get on early. And Henry, I appreciate you doing that. I just wanted to tell you, and I also want to tell Barb and Jeff and Kat, thank you for what you've done. You've done a yeoman's job at the show. You've done a terrific job, and makes me proud. It really does that you stuck around this long. And just wanted to wish to. I guess only Henry is the one that's retiring. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I don't know if you will carry on the show or not. Is this the last?
No, they're not carrying the show on, I don't think.
I was really okay. All right,
Yeah.
then. But so
yeah, we got our plans. So
We got our plans.
well, I do a show on Monday too. So yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Now we're
But
all moving into Henry's house. Yeah, he doesn't know it yet, but the whole bunch of us are moving to Ohio, and we're going to sneak in the back door and camp out in his living room and everything else. We don't have any place else to go.
Welcome to Ohio. We have snakes in the basement.
Snakes in
Are
the
you
basement,
calling me a
ghosts in the
snake?
attic.
No, I'm
Dave,
saying welcome to Ohio. Expect snakes in the basement.
Dave, I want to thank you and Tommy both for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Certainly
I've
our
learned a
pleasure.
lot, and want to thank you for it.
Well, no, it's my pleasure. I can tell you, and Tom loved you guys the entire time, and you know that.
I know that.
And appreciate you guys so much doing this. Happy retirement. Patsy, take care of yourself. You guys have a great life and have all the health in the world. And you enjoy your retirement, Henry, because you've deserved it. And
Appreciate
to the Paranormal View, unfortunately, we're waving bye to you tonight, but the memories are going to go on forever. So, guys, take care. Sarge, thanks for getting me in here. I appreciate it. You folks have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
You know, we've had a lot of great, I guess, hosts on the show.
Guess?
Well, no hosts.
Well, no, take this compliment, Jeff. We're all great hosts.
Kat, Jeff, Barbara, and Craig. I just want to thank each and every one of you. I couldn't have done the show by myself, and sometimes I get sidetracked, and I've got you guys to grab a hold of me and pull me back on. and keep me in straight and narrow. And I appreciated all that. You guys really helped me out and helped make the Paranormal View what it was. We went to a lot of locations to broadcast from, and I don't think, Kat, you didn't go to the Sorg Opera House.
Which cat?
You.
Oh, I've been to the Sorg Opera House.
Did you?
Yes. I even wrote about it in the second graphic novel.
Did you go with me, or you went?
I did not go with you.
You went with
Surprise! I see other paranormal ghost hunters, too.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I went there in 2013 to help clean it up.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they've got it all redone now. My cousin just got married there. I can't remember if it was January or in the fall, but she just got married there, so they do weddings and different things like that there. I don't know if they're still investigating or not, but
well, that's up for debate. I think it depends on who you are, but I know the ballroom on the 4th floor in the commercial building still has not been fixed up.
Oh.
So it was on my way there that I saw my own ghost. But speaking about, like, you seeing ghosts, I think we need to talk about the David Stewart farm. When was the last time you talked about the David Stewart farm on the show?
It's been a while. Let's see who all was there. Me, you, and
a couple of other folks, such as Kat, I believe.
Yeah, Tabby, yeah.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
There.
And Steve Shockley.
Yeah.
I think
Craig.
Pat McCormick.
Pat McCormick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the classic group. And seeing all the Confederate soldiers smoking in the barn.
Yes, I did see that. You could see, matter of fact, I was behind everybody standing there with Craig, and I kept seeing these little red dots over by the wall, and all of a sudden they'd get bright, then they'd go dim. And finally, I asked, I says, does anybody else see those little red dots over there? And they're all hollering, yeah. I said, well, what is that? And he says, the soldiers smoking cigarettes. And every time we take a puff, it would get light and then go dim.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And ever since then, you couldn't say you never saw a ghost.
Yeah. No. That's pretty good. I got all kinds of EVPs from them. We were doing a house over here in Middletown. And we were sitting in a living room, and it was like a little shotgun house. You look all the way to the back door, through past the kitchen, the bedrooms, and everything. And I'm sitting there, and supposedly there was a little girl ghost there. And I kept trying to talk with her and everything to get her to come up. There was me and Marcus, and then a medium on the other side of Marcus. And finally, the medium says, she's standing right in front of you. I said, oh, well, I'm getting my camera out. I'm going to try and take a picture. And Marcus says, honey, can Henry take your picture? And the recorder catchers, I'm smiling, just as plain as day. Of course, I took a picture and there wasn't nothing there. So, but you get all those good things like that. And that's what really fascinated me with being able to start investigating. So, but like I said, everyone that I've been with has just been a hoot and a holler when we would go to Gettysburg or wherever. I mean, there would be a gang of us, and we was all the time laughing and having a great time. Rock with a Shock would always be there. Let's see, Kat Gasch would be there. Let's see who else was there. Pat would be there. Who else was there? Am I off or something happened?
No. Who else was where?
Craig Rupp.
At like the battlefield investigations?
Yes. Battlefield investigations.
Carrie would be there a lot too.
Yes, Carrie
and Kat, Tabby Cat, Pat, and then Craig, you.
Tina was there.
Tina.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a ton of people, some in places we went to.
Well, yeah, there was one year where we took up an entire B&B.
Yes, that was south of Gettysburg here, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I forget what the name of that hotel was. It was a restaurant.
I believe it was the Fairfield.
Yeah, the Fairfield Inn. Yeah, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people there that night. We broadcast a show live from there. Matter of fact, we broadcast a show live from a lot of different places.
I will say something, because when I was invited, there we go, to be on the show tonight, it was very exciting, and I was thinking back to our long history and how much of just radio show work I learned from being on this show, like hosting the servers, how to plug in the right plugs into your soundboard, when the microphones go wonky, what you do, when your internet disappears, what you do. All of that is just extremely invaluable education of how to run a radio show.
Well,
and that's from you, Henry, and Barbara and Jeff.
That was like me. I had no idea what I was doing to start with.
Sometimes you could tell, but learning on the fly is extremely important.
Yes, it is. And there's times we was doing shows from places and we'd lose electricity or we'd lose feed.
Yes.
But luckily we was recording, so we was able to record the shows.
Yes.
So that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think at Bell Nursing Home, we lost internet. We didn't even have it, I don't think. And then there was a tornado that touched down a few miles away from the Bell Nursing Home while we were investigating it one year.
And all the power was out everywhere except the hotel that we were staying in.
Yes, but we also had the call light turn on, remember?
Yep.
Oh, man, that was one of the spookiest moments. You're just sitting there like, I absolutely know I don't have any power here right now. And then that call light turned on, and all of us look over, and we're like, that's not supposed to happen.
Kind of makes you wonder about coincidence, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was clearly we got so much audio from there, and my pendulums kept saying we were talking to a dead raccoon.
Oh.
And I'm like, there's something going on. There's something fishy going on. This is not working. Something's been messed up.
Fishermen, so.
Yeah.
There's also that thing about ghost hunters and bats, right, Kat? I mean, for some reason, there's bats.
And Kat has her own boyfriend bat.
Yes, I do. So sadly, he has passed away. I am sure by now.
Oh,
I don't know how long that's
yeah,
lived.
would have been a while.
Did they actually call you to say Igor has passed away, or?
Actually, there was a Facebook post.
Oh no! Okay.
I thought there was a Facebook post because he was such a notorious bat. But yeah, I'm sure everyone who's listened to this show knows this story. So, I don't think anyone new is in here.
Yeah.
I recognize all these names from 5 years ago is when I did my last show in April, by the way. And I'm like, I recognize all these people.
We got a lot of people in here.
Well, taking into account also these shows are now going up on YouTube, so we could end up with the irony of having an audience of a show that's no longer around.
That is true. You may get some activity. Paranormal activity.
Well, we got
Igor was Waverly, right? That wasn't someplace else.
No, Igor was the penitentiary, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the Mansfield Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. And he stalked the intake area just outside the bullpen. And for those of you that don't know, I've been to Mansfield quite a few times when writing my second book and knew the layout pretty well, so I could go through there without a flashlight. Yeah, sure, you see some shadow people. They pop in and out once in a while, but you get used to them. What you don't get used to is the bats that dive bomb for your head. And when you silently scream, their wings pass your lips. I have been tested for rabies. I do not have it.
Oh, my God. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Henry, there's a comment in the chat room from Ghost Soldiers Pat McCormick. He made a mention about, how about the kids turning the lights on and off at the Pry House kitchen during your live show?
Yeah. Did.
I forgot about that.
The lights went off everywhere except where we was sitting there broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
we was
that
able
was
to-
hilarious.
Well, in the same place, after the show, we went upstairs to the room where one of the generals had been wounded and was being taken care of. And they must have been, 10 of us in that room? Everybody that was there in the house was up there in that one room. And Tabby Cat and I was standing in the doorway. And I'm standing there listening because they're going to do EVP sessions. So everything's totally dead quiet while they're doing this. And I'm sitting there and I'm hearing people talking downstairs. And I asked Tabby, I said, is that somebody talking downstairs? And Tabby says, yeah, it sounds like 2 or 3 people down there. And there wasn't anybody down there, but it was only like low whisper, like a spirit talking. Couldn't hear what they said, but you could hear them.
Yeah,
That place
and
is so active.
Yeah, it turned out later on that Pat, who had a stationary camera in the hallway downstairs, when he went back and reviewed his, the film and the audio, there was nothing on the video, but he heard it. He heard the voices and everything that you and I heard, Henry. And like you said, there was nobody downstairs. All of us were upstairs. But I thought that was pretty cool. The docents that were with us that night, they said they had never experienced the lights going on and off like that. Never. It was only when you were doing your show that night. And guess what? It was Halloween.
It was. And I also had a shadow person run in front of me, if you remember when we were cleaning up.
Yeah.
I was about to go down the staircase, and a shadow person ran in front of me. And I was like, this is a terrible place to run in front of someone. And we also, I think, wasn't there like an orb or something in the barn?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was all kinds of weird stuff that went on in the barn. That was the first time that I had ever seen what was described to me by both you and a person by the name of Doug when they were crossing over some soldiers. I had never before seen white figures behind ghosts before. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking into the darkness, and I'm like, what in the heck are those white things that are behind all these, soldiers that are crossing? And Kat, the first thing that came out of your mouth was, they're their guardian angels. And it never even occurred to me. I never even thought of it in that manner. But yeah, ever since then, I've never seen them before. Never since then. That was the first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Antietam is, like, Gettysburg gets visited, and you can tell it's visited a lot by mediums because a large portion of those guys have passed over. But Antietam, when we were just walking through with Pat, doing just the tour, we weren't supposed to see anything paranormal because it was like 2 p.m. on a Thursday or something. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing the general on the horse run past, like, down like a hill. Mm-hmm. And I remember describing it to Pat and being like, oh, the Confederate soldiers. That was at Gettysburg. describing them to a T to Pat, going, I saw these guys and they were wearing these like woolen coats, but they had this red, what is it? Like tailored.
The stripe.
They were stripes, but there was
pants.
Like, yeah. And just and the little capelets and everything. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm describing, but this is who I'm seeing. And he was able to peg exactly what, like, the unit it could have been, not who it was.
Yeah,
We're seeing the medic
cool.
run through Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm.
But Antietam, getting back to what I was saying, has definitely not been visited as often by psychics and mediums. So there's a lot more people out there that haven't crossed over.
Definitely. Well, I think one of the funniest things excuse me for this, Henry, but it was rather funny. We're all walking around Antietam and around what they refer to as the cornfield, and we were walking a good long way, and Henry's like, well, you can come back and get me. Because I'm not going to walk any further because we had to walk so darn far. And Henry's like, no, I'll stay here. You can go get the car and come and get me and everything. Because Antietam is an awful lot of walking. You can do an awful lot of driving, but yeah. But that's Henry. No, I'll wait here.
What's the square mileage of Antietam?
I'm not exactly sure. It's definitely not nearly as big as Gettysburg, but when it comes down to it, you almost have to go around Antietam more on foot than you do on, in your car like you do with Gettysburg. But yeah, there's an awful lot of things. But the one thing that I really remember an awful lot about Gettysburg is that I always used to get all of you guys lost.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That damn blue car.
Over here, but somewhere way over here.
Without fail.
Yeah, my own mental GPS isn't for crap. And so every time you turned around, I was getting all of you guys turned around. And Gettysburg, if anybody's ever visited there, knows that a lot of the streets are one way to begin with. So if you take the wrong turn on the battlefield itself, you're just going to go around in a circle. And, Henry's behind us in one vehicle. Kat, I'm not sure if you were in the same vehicle that he was, but all of a sudden, Henry calls me on the phone. He says, didn't we just pass that monument about 3 times?
Yeah, I was with Henry in that vehicle, but I have ridden with you. I've been on both sides of this coin.
Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. I just don't have... I can get lost in my own neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, we got the layout of Gettysburg really well.
Yes,
Pat brought up in the chat room, how about the guy who rode his horse into heaven at Antietam?
Yeah.
There was a lot. I forgot a lot of Antietam. Man.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that I live very close to it, so I'm visiting there an awful lot. There's just so many things that I've experienced with all of you guys because of the Paranormal View. And I've been very fortunate to have met every one of, well, with the exception of Barbara and Jeff. And one of these days I'll get out to the left coast and I'll meet you guys along with Marla and a few others. But I've been very fortunate to have been a part of the group that I consider to be the paranormal family, the Paranormal View family. And I'm so grateful for it. I really am. Every darn one of you is just absolutely enormously wonderful to be around. And I can't say thank you enough for allowing me to be a part of you.
Oh, that's so sweet, Kat.
Yes. And I want to thank each one of you for helping me out. I mean, immensely. I want to thank everyone that's in the chat room right now, too. It is jam-packed full. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I've met quite a few. There's some that I haven't, like let's see here who I haven't met. I haven't met Marla because she's on the West Coast. Haven't met Rimney. Haven't met Kat O. And Jeff W. I have met. I've had him on the show for. That's Jeff Wilson. Ayers 58 or Sears 58. I don't believe I've met them. Jiggs I haven't met. Sherry I haven't met. Pat I have. Darcy I have. Bruce Tango I have. And Tiffany I have. And it's a pleasure to have met and been able to even investigate with you. The farmhouse that I was telling you about where the little girl touched me on the back, I had Tiffany went out there with me, and she is psychic medium and never told her anything about the house. And the docent, when we went into the house, we went into the room on the right, and Tiffany, the spirit girl or person, was talking to her. And Tiffany said, there used to be like a white wicker chair over here in the corner. And the docent said, yes, but we moved it to another room. And she said she wants it back over here. The woman who used to own the house wants it back over here because she used to sit right there. And she said, there used to be another way into this room. And the docent said, well, there's a door right there. It comes from the outside, from the porch there. And she says, no, there was another way. And the docent looked at her and said, yeah, there was. The far wall there on the left had like bookshelves and stuff like that. And she said, back behind this bookshelf stuff, there was a door that went out into the other hallway in the back of the house. And she was, I mean, going through this house, she was just telling all kinds of things. And the docent was just flabbergasted because, I mean, she would be, yeah, no, that used to be over here. And this, she says, well, the woman wants it back over here. And so, I mean, it really, Tiffany's the one that was there saying these, and it really opened your eyes when you're with somebody that's never been there before and start telling you all this stuff. I was really surprised at it. So, yeah, I have met great people, and I want to thank each and every one of them for teaching me, showing me, and slapping me around a couple times every now and then, which I probably deserved. But, yes, everybody that I have been with, and includes Barbara and Jeff, who I've never met, but they have done an immense amount of work for the Paranormal View and for me. Jeff is putting all of our old shows up, and we have a site. Jeff can put it in a chat room so people can go to it and listen to all of our shows. Right, Jeff?
Well, if I open my browser, my computer will say that's way too much memory. Bye-bye. So I'm not in the chat room right now. But let me see. I will. If you go to if you go to YouTube and you go search for the Paranormal View, there are actually two. I completely forgot Henry had created a paranormal YouTube channel, and I created one out of whole cloth, and I realized, oh, Henry's already got one up. Oh well. So the one that has like many videos, and it has the gray ghostly logo, that's the one that has been being used. I'm going to also be uploading the ones that are on the other channel into this channel, the new channel, and yeah, we'll get that going. And the next project, the next step of the project is Paranormal View on YouTube.
All right, that sounds great. And I tried to look for them today. I mean, on my site, I've only got like 4 shows posted, but Jeff has all of them posted. So you have to go to his site to be able to get to all those.
Well, I actually created it when the lockdowns cost me my job, and I was able to do live shows again. So that's when I started. So it actually started in mid 2009. No, maybe. No, not 2009. 19. What am I saying? Yeah, 2019. I think my brain is don't mind me. But it wasn't. But at first, the YouTube, since it was a young channel, said you can't put a 2-hour thing up. We can only let you do 15 minutes at a time. So I literally had to go and re-edit them into 8 segments, and so they're like a continuation. And then eventually Marla told me, yeah, you should be able to do more, maybe up to an hour, and sure enough, so then they became 2-parters, and now I'm able to do entire shows in one go, so hooray.
Great. Well, I know an awful lot of people that would like to tune into the show. Over the years, I had, told them, hey, listen to the Paranormal View. They've got some fascinating guests, some absolutely wonderful hosts. But sometimes by the time they could listen in, they were getting their kids put down. Well, you know what I mean. Not put down.
How did you know I was thinking that?
So cool.
But they were getting their kids ready for bed or whatever. They couldn't listen to the show, or they were just winding down. And I said, well, hey, they've got them up on, podcast and everything else. Give them a listen. And the next thing you know, they're, hey, I'm going to listen to them live. And I think that's always probably the most positive thing, is to just spread the word, because that's how I learned about you guys, was spread the word.
It is the best marketing.
Yes,
Yep.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
We're going to be taking like a 5-minute break, I think is what Sarge said it is, at exactly...
I thought it was a minute.
Well, minute.
Well, he said a minute, but
Those
he
are
meant
vastly different things.
Ever how long it's supposed to be. 1 minute, I guess. Anyway, we're going to be doing that exactly at 8 o'clock, so we'll be muted. Sarge will be doing break stuff.
or 6 o'clock for you West Coast people.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
You're
Tiny
trying
whiny.
to tell us to shut up, Henry? Are you trying to tell us to shut up?
We
No,
got
you got
3 minutes to get all of our thoughts out and go.
Yeah.
3 minutes. Yeah. So when I come back, I'd like to talk some about the humongous list of guests that we've had on. And I want to, before we go to break, I want to make mention of a special guest who is a dear friend and all, who has passed on. And I just want to remember him, and that's Mike Stevenson.
Yes.
Great guy, and we had a lot of fun with him. So, and then when we come back from break, we can discuss some of the other. And I got a list full of some great guests that we've had on, and we can discuss some of them. So, any particular thing you guys are going to want to talk about, or that you liked, disliked, or whatever about the show?
I got one thing.
The what?
Flipping cherries and losing nuts.
Oh, God.
God. Oh, that conjures up the image.
I know, right?
Oh, my God.
Oh, the joys we had at Mr. G's.
Wasn't just Mr. G's. I think the joys we had a lot of places where we just laughed to death.
But you lost your cherry and your nuts were slipping at Mr. G's. Better yet, in the parking lot.
Oh, goodness. The fun.
That's one thing we did. I mean, the group of us that would be there, I mean, we just laughed the whole time that we was doing the show.
Still are.
Yes, still are.
Yeah.
All right, we got, looks like less than a minute here. And I'm sure Sarge will say do it. But when we do, we'll be off for 1 minute.
Ish. 1 minute ish.
So,
do you want to do like an outro, like the last time I get to say you're listening to the Paranormal View on para-x.com with your hosts Henry Foister, Ceiling Cat Barbara Duncan, Tabby Cat Gasch, and the former co-host Kat Klockow, and myself, Geoffrey Gould. So stay tuned for Paranormal View after the break.
yeah, you can say that.
Maybe I already did. I kind of did.
All right.
I want to say it again. I did.
Say goodnight, Dick.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Paranormal View here on Para-X Radio, where we may not be live, but we're not dead yet, with our very special rounding crew of Henry Foister, Geoffrey Gould, Tabby Cat Gasch, Kat Klockow, and myself, the Ceiling Cat.
Yes, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Chat room is just overly filled, I might say. With all that, I would like to talk some about the different guests and supporters that we've had on the show. We've had some great shows. We've had some great people on. And I'd like to give not only them the recognition, but the people that's listening, so they would understand some of the types of people that we have had on the show. We had one guy, and I want to say great friends with him. He has probably been the guest that's been on the show the most. And can anyone tell me who that is?
Wortman.
Thomas Wortman.
Yes. Yeah, MUFON.
Thomas Wortman. He does his own show on Saturday nights, so he wasn't able to be on with us. But yes, great guy, and we've had him on many, many times. Very funny guy too, and very.
Well, that and I learned a heck of a lot about UFOs from Thomas.
Yes.
That right down to the case study procedures and all that other stuff. It's fascinating.
Yes.
Strange question. Does Thomas live in Ohio?
Yes, he lives in Cleveland.
Okay, because MUFON just relocated back to Cincinnati a few years ago.
Yes, that's who he reports to and stuff, because they used to be in Cleveland, but they're back in Cincinnati now. But he still is affiliated with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Time for some UFO stories for issue number 3.
Yes, we actually just did our first UFO show a few weeks ago, and because the comic has a podcast that I host. I didn't go very far, but and that's where I learned all about MUFON here in Ohio and Right Pat. Like, I knew about Right Pat. If you watched Unsolved Mysteries, you knew about Right Pat. But we do want to do alien or UFO sightings, because Cincinnati, we have a lot of strange ones, and a lot of people have requested stories. So in one of the upcoming Cabinet of Curiosities, there will be a UFO story. So, on to the guests, Henry.
On to the guests.
They served up a sauce event.
Well, we've had another interesting guest who is from Cincinnati, the observatory. His name's Dean Regas.
Dean Regas.
Yes.
Sorry.
Very, very good guest, and very knowledgeable. Very interesting too when you listen to him talk about the planets and everything.
Oh yeah, he just did a stay at the Grand Canyon at their observatory. It was about 3 months from this past fall.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing something else soon too. I don't remember what it was, but I know.
Well,
I've seen
right now they have a large statue in front of the observatory, and it's one that's like a roaming art piece. So, yeah, they do also. They're even doing an event tonight because of the lunar eclipse.
Yes, is that tonight also?
I thought so. Yes, this is the 30th.
Well,
yes,
it was at 1:30 p.m., but there might be something else going on. Well, there's all those planets.
Yeah,
Lined up in Pisces. That's probably it.
They may have made a recording and shown it to people. I mean, whatever gets people to the planetarium. Henry, have you been to the planetarium?
No, I have not.
Sir, you're missing out.
Well, probably, but I don't get to go too much anymore anywhere.
You want to know something?
Well,
I live 5 minutes away from that planetarium.
well, you know, Henry, the guy who thinks that white dot up in the sky and doesn't know that it's Venus.
Oh, dear. Oh,
Is that what it
no. Really?
I didn't see a V on it.
Yeah, Henry, because they're labeled like that.
My very eager mother just serves us new potatoes.
Look at how much work goes into all the different countries spelling out the names of themselves. You can see them from by satellite. Oh, there's where Yugoslavia is.
We had another guest on. A guy lives real close to me over toward Dayton here. Is Jeff Wilson, and he had some books on Ohio. Very funny guy. Books are real good. Has a whole bunch of little tidbits and short stories in the book about people from around Ohio. Very
Great
interesting
stories.
Yes.
Fun. He's in the chat room.
I have to say thank you, Jeff. Jeff the Troll is properly framed and above my desk at work.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. See, Jeff, you made the big time. And he's in the chat room here. So
Yes, he is.
hi, Jeff.
But
Appreciate
those are,
it.
yeah, wonderful Ohio stories and things you wouldn't dream that came out of Ohio. There are.
That book is filled with them.
Actually,
Usually,
one of my favorite Jeff Wilson bits was you asked me to take us out to the break by saying, you know, Jeff, take us out to break, and Jeff Wilson tried doing his own version of that.
Hey,
Man.
he did a good job.
He did, but we were all just sitting there like, why is he? Oh, he thought he meant him.
In the chat room, we also have one of our favorite guys. We could have got him on the show, but we had so many to start with. I wasn't able to. Rock with the Shock, Steve Shockley.
Yeah.
And Steve,
Shock.
The Shock. And Steve does a radio show on Friday night. So if you get a chance, go to rockwiththeshock.com and you will have a great time because there's a lot of people in there requesting songs and Steve plays them. And the history that he has on who wrote the song, who sung the songs, all about the history of it is immense. So you'll really like being with him. Bruce Tango is in the chat room. We've had him on the show numerous times, and he is usually always in with Rock with the Shock on Friday nights. So you can see him there. Let's see who else. We got Moofy. Moofy is usually always here in the chat room when we're on the show. Glad to see her. Want to give her recognition. Kat away from the keyboard. At least she'll be able to hear us anyway. So welcome for being with us. Rendy, he's usually always here. Jigs is always here in the chat room. Marla is always here with us. And Marla has her own show. I believe that's on Friday night. Is that when she's on?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday night. Okay.
Henry,
Yes.
you're forgetting the most important person in the chat room.
Who? Who did I forget?
Patsy.
Oh, well, I haven't got that. She's way down here on the list.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
That's a way to
Patsy,
put that.
you didn't hear that.
Just in the list of names. She's not low on my list. Just down the list here.
It's a good thing she's leaving you in a short while. You're going to be by
Dang, man.
yourself for a while
Man,
with the
I
cat.
would not eat that food.
Gotta head off with Alice there.
She's a good cook, though. I can't complain.
Who, Patsy or the cat?
Jigs is with us. Sherry is with us. And Patsy, also known as Nyla. That's my wife. So you know who she is. We got Pat. We got Bruce Tango. We got Darcy. I guess that's my whole list there. So I hope I didn't miss anybody. So getting back to our guests, one that we used to have on quite regularly, at least once every 2 or 3 months, if not 6 months, was Elaine Kuzmeskis. We had her scheduled, or had been wanted scheduled like in February. We wasn't able to do it because we wasn't doing the show then. She was always on and give readings and stuff. She was always good. Marla Brooks, we've had her on. She's always good and comes up with all kinds of good stuff. She has her own show, and you ought to listen to that. Tim Shaw's been on quite a bit. I haven't seen much of him around lately because he's off doing other things now. We had a girl.
We were able to make fun of Tim enough when the first episode of the Jodie Whittaker era of Doctor Who came on, and one of the characters' name was Tim Shaw, which the doctor kept mispronouncing as Tim Shaw. He couldn't believe it. The next day he's like, "Why is everybody contacting me?" Because everyone's like, "You're in Doctor Who," sort of.
We had a woman by the name of Pam Osley on. She done aura readings or color readings, I guess.
Yep. Yeah.
She was good. We had Rick Hayes on. I see him from time to time. They have a convention here at Post Town, close to where I live, and a lot of these people that's been on the show and affiliated here has been there. Rick Hayes is one. I get to see him from time to time there. We had a guy on quite a few times from California. Has books on UFOs and abductions. Preston Dennett.
I watched his YouTube, his show on YouTube, which is very, very good. I'll put the link to that in the report page for us.
We had Stanton Friedman on a couple times. Bruce Tango has been on, and he's very funny. I've been to a couple places where he was at. I believe Hillview Manor, was one of the places that I got to talk to him there. Hillview Manor is now under new management, and I've seen them advertise stuff on the shows about it. It's totally changed because of the new ownership. We've been to, we had, I guess one of the first people we had on was Mark Phillips. He's from out there in California, too. We had Bill Burns on, and he's been on TV numerous times. We had Kayla Ambrose. We had been having her on maybe every other year or something. And then one of my favorite people that we've had on a lot is Tina Marie Ronan.
Yes. She couldn't be here tonight. She was actually on almost a 2-night back-to-back all-night investigation.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that.
Yeah, and she really wanted to be here tonight, but she said that earlier, by the time she was finished, she is completely whooped. And the only way that she would have been able to be on the show would be to drive about a 4-hour drive back to her house. So she says, thank you, really enjoyed the show, wanted to be here, but she's gone. She's whooped.
We had Nick Redfern on. He's got some books out. And believe it or not, we didn't get people just from around America here. We had another person on that we had to go all the way to India to talk to, Shreya Joshi. She has a paranormal group or a team there that does paranormal investigations over in India. It was a pretty good show. the problem was, I guess it was like daytime over there and billions of people in the one city, so it was just total kind of like noise all the time. So sometimes it was kind of hard to hear, but it was very interesting. So we enjoyed that. Another guy that I really liked who had a book on, I forget what it was called. His name was Benjamin Jeffries, and it was the history of, I guess, the paranormal or something like that. I forget what it was. Do you remember what it was, Barbara?
I'm trying to remember if it was the Haunted South book.
No, that was who he was too. I've got him.
Can't remember.
I've got the books up here, but I don't know where they're at right now. Since I moved, I haven't been able. Kevin McQueen, was that who wrote those?
Well, he wrote all the murder books. Yes.
Right, he wrote the murder books.
Yep.
Benjamin Jeffrey was about the boogeyman monsters.
That was it. Yeah, the Boogeyman. Yeah, excellent book. A hardbound book. If you get a chance, you can go to Amazon and you can look that one up. Very good. The history of the Boogeyman.
Ooh.
We had.
And who did you just say was? You just said somebody else, so I should know, and I wasn't typing because I was looking up what Benjamin is on about.
Kevin McQueen.
Yes, Kevin McQueen, who's what?
Yeah,
His posts.
He wrote all the
hilarious,
stories about Kentucky, the different stories and little tidbits and stuff like that of different places around Kentucky, which was very interesting. The history. I talked to him ever so often. We had a great guy, and I don't know how early on it was that we had him on, but dealing with UFOs, Paul Hellyer, and I'm sure people's heard of him. He's from Canada, and he'll sit there and tell you, yes, there are UFOs. So he was up in the government, wasn't he? Commissioner.
Yeah, commissioner.
Yeah. Of course, we had one of our favorites on quite a few times, and we even went to places with him, Mr. Steve Shockley, Rock with the Shock. He is funny. I like
Never heard of the guy. Who is he?
I can't remember what he looks like.
Have no idea who in the heck he
I hear
is.
his name. I hear his name, and all I hear is this weird insert shot of the name Kat Klockow.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And
I should also, we had a guest, you'd mentioned earlier who you've met. Ironically, Marla and I are still relatively close to each other. We haven't met in person. But we had a guest, June Lundgren. She was an author and psychic.
Yes.
And she was local, and she took me out to dinner with her family.
Oh, really? June Lundgren?
That weekend. I think it was like on Sunday, because her family were all Doctor Who fans, so we were also talking about that a lot.
We had her
as
on.
well as psychic.
We had her on early in the season of the Paranormal View, and I understand, I believe that she has her own radio show now, if I'm not.
Yeah, she was on June 6, 2016.
Another guy that lives north of me, up toward the Michigan border up there, northern Ohio. We've had him on numerous times. Great stories is Don Allison. And the stories that he has about his house, about his bird, and everything else that's went on there, I guess his house is haunted. I've met him quite a few times over in Gettysburg and a couple other places. So, very funny guy. One of the places that I used
what I find interesting is, and like I say, it's the world's saddest birthday gift, this show being over. But yesterday was my birthday, and I had tons of, obviously, like they say, happy 24-hour notifications on Facebook Day. But of the 218 people who sent me birthday greetings, a lot of them were former guests of the show. I know Don Allison and and a number of guests that we've had, I was like, oh, how cool. Did I fall off again?
No.
No, that's, yeah.
No.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One
But
of
also, they do keep in touch.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the places I used to like to go to was Ryan's Tavern, which is no longer Ryan's Tavern, but Kat used to go there with me quite a bit. And
That's correct.
there was quite a bit of stuff that went on there. I know
That is also correct.
we was upstairs in the attic, you might say, where they just stored like Christmas decorations and things like that, and wasn't nothing else up there. We was up there, and they have an elevator that comes up. Well, we were standing there looking at the elevator, and the door was closed, and you could see somebody walking back and forth in the elevator. You see the shadow under the door.
Yep. That was spooky.
And you go over and push the button, the door opens up, and there's nobody there.
Yeah. Ryan's Tavern had issues with its elevator.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it was we looked into the history of it a bit, and it was once they had tunnels for rum running in the basement. So it's really well known as a bootlegger's running area. So in the basement, what you were talking about, Henry, was just a third floor. It was used for storage, but at one point it was occupied by a family. But the basement had an extremely grumpy ghost that you would see walk through there. And it was myself and I think Tiffany on one of the first times I met her. We saw the ghost walk by and we're like, did you see that? It just walked right through the huge barrels of beer.
Probably figured that just going through it is going to get a contact high.
Oh, one will hope that's how the afterlife works.
Yep.
Well, if you're going to a tavern, you're definitely going to find spirits. So, oh, wait.
I know. They're always on tap. Ha ha ha. But, yeah, that entire place. I remember we were doing a radio show from the first floor meeting room, and it sounded like the main area was buzzing, and you could hear voices. And even through our headsets, I think we were interviewing Vicky live, and she goes to go check the first floor bar area, and there was no one there. Yeah. Very spooky.
Okay, so for our next guest, I have the ultimate question. Steve, what is the most popular ghost song that's out there right now?
Hold it. I want to get Sarge. Sarge, can you bring Shock in?
He's in.
I'm in.
Oh, you're in? I didn't know.
Ta-da!
He's here.
You can answer it then.
That was
Here
quick.
he is.
I did not.
The shock is in the house.
That's right. Yeah, Henry and I, we met actually in Gettysburg. And the only reason I wanted to go out and meet Henry, because he was the only one that was older than me.
Oh, well, thank you.
Henry would take up jogging so that he could hear heavy breathing again. And Henry, I got to say, you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
Henry's getting to that age where that if he orders a 3-minute egg, they ask for the money up front. This is the kind of fun we had on location in between the investigation. In all seriousness, Henry is one of the most spectacular people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. I've enjoyed every investigation that we've been on, every conversation, every opportunity to do broadcast production things for him for his commercials. And it's truly been an honor. Good luck to you in your retirement.
Well, really, I'm only retiring from doing the show. I still hope to be able to go out on investigations at time. I know COVID knocked a big bunch of being able to get out and do things like that. But if I'm not doing the show, hopefully I'm going to be able to have time, if I'm even able to travel some and go to different places and do some things. That's my intentions.
Okay.
As long as I can drive daytime.
Yeah. Rock,
And
have a question.
I think the most popular ghost song across the full spectrum would still be Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, rightfully
Definitely.
so.
Oh, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, Rock, you obviously you've known Henry a long time, and is it just me, or when Henry really does that long, drawn-out laugh, it's the same as Drew Carey's laugh when he's on Whose Line Is It Anywhere and he just loses it? They sound identical.
I think Drew is actually using his laugh, a recording of it.
That could be.
You have to be there,
Terry
folks.
again.
And
As a
now
matter of fact,
Steve, were you at the Gettysburg incident with the ice cream?
He was.
That will never be lived down, will it?
No, you won't.
I don't remember whether I did. I might have been out in the parking lot losing my nuts.
No,
What do you think? Wait a minute. Here's what I use on my show. What do you think of that, Henry?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have been. I think 3. I've never been to Antietam with this group. Although now somebody was asking in the chat room how many square feet is Antietam? It's only 5.9 square feet. It just seems so big because Tabby keeps getting everyone lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I can vouch for that.
Going
But
around
Henry,
saying porn stuff.
it's good to know that you're still going to be doing investigation because once this COVID thing is completely out of the way, I may not be able to trot around like I have in the past, but I still look forward to getting out there to seeing you again.
I'm with you 100%. I'm not that agile anymore, and I do not drive after dark.
Okay, there you go.
Yep. So, yeah, that is some of the most fun that I've had is when we go with a group of people, and I mean, we just laugh hilariously the whole time. And I really enjoy it. I mean, I've got some great friends. I've met a lot of great people, and I really have fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad that I was able to bring a smile to your face and help you forget any of your troubles, if only for a moment. And that goes for everyone that was there.
Definitely.
Yes.
I think we all.
Now listen, I just wanted to say best wishes, and we'll see you again. And Sarge, out of the kindness of his heart, contacted me and said we want to bring you in for a few minutes. So let me get back to your show, and thanks so much for having me.
Boy, thank you for wanting to come on and talk, and I appreciate it.
Yes, Steve. Thank you for
Thanks,
always
Steve.
roasting Henry at the appropriate time.
Roasting Henry.
Night, Chuck.
all
Good
I
night.
can say is do it while you can.
That's right.
Yep.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
So I went through a list of different people that we've had on the show, and that's just some that I thought of off the top of my head. So who is some of the guests that you guys really liked that maybe I haven't even thought of?
Well, we already talked about Marla. She's always been one of my favorite guests.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if we don't say that Marla is one of our favorite guests, then we're all going to wake up tomorrow morning and go, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
But you do that anyway.
No, I go meow, 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 meow.
Moofy in the chat room suggests Jeff Mudgett.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a very interesting person to talk to.
Yes, he is.
Yes. I like talking to
we
John
could get-
Zaffis
Yeah.
and doing the interviews at the Mid-South Paranormal Convention back in the day.
Yeah.
Although I love John's attempt at doing a promo going, this is John Zappis. And here, I was like, who talks like that, John? Come on.
I had to
Well,
write
John
that
Zaffis
out
talks
for him.
Really?
He could not. I love John Zaffis, and I was like, would you be interested in doing a promo read for our show? And he's like, yeah, sure. And we turned on the recording, and he just stared at the microphone. And I'm like, let's stop. Do you need a script, sir? Yes, that'd be lovely. Okay. Wrote it out very quickly, gave it to him, and he read it.
Like it was.
I mean, I get it. I was anxious. When we started the show, I got some fun memories. So go back to 2012. So long ago. Oh my God, it was a decade ago. But anyway, Henry called me to invite me on the show as a host because I used to be a guest when I was in line at the local yogurt shop. So I get this news and I'm like, yay, yogurt. I'm going to get myself a whole lot. But I get on the show and I'm terrible live because I'm not comfortable in front of the microphone. So I am sure our listeners noticed that I sounded absolutely wooden when I would read the cue cards that I put in front of myself for our intros and outros.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Absolutely wouldn't. It's like, welcome to the Paranormal View. I am your host, Kat Klockow, with Henry Foister, Geoffrey Gould, and Barbara Duncan. And now, onto the show. Like that. I sounded like Shatner. So that's just a memory from starting, and eventually got more comfortable, and now I'm this goofy mess of a person that you hear before you. So thank you, Henry, Jeff, and Barbara, for training me.
We're all in good company, Kat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great.
I can honestly say that over the years, since I've been listening to the Paranormal View, there's been so many incredible guests, and they've been, from all ends of the spectrum. They've been from ghosts to UFOs to Bigfoot to fairies to cryptids to just myths and monsters. And I found it absolutely fascinating, and I think that's probably why I continue to listen over all those years. It's because this is one of the few shows that didn't, what I would call, pigeonhole a specific topic on a regular basis. The Paranormal View is exactly that. The paranormal encompasses so many various different things. And that's what you've got to look at. It doesn't just include ghosts and specters and demons and things like that. The paranormal is just that. It's out of the ordinary. It's out of the normal. And that's what I enjoyed. And that's why I continue to listen. And I think that's why the listeners did. Because all of you guys, guests, were so diversified. And they were interesting. From, Stonehenge to, things in South America, to spells, to you name it. And that's what made the Paranormal View, to me, the most fascinating. And it isn't like shows on the Para-X radio aren't fascinating. They are. I mean, every one of them is great in their own right because they have a specific topic. But the Paranormal View seemed to have just gone the gamut. And that's what has been fascinating. And Henry, you're talking about all the various different guests that you've had on the shows over the years. They've run that gamut. It hasn't been just one thing. And that's why it's been so fascinating. And that's why I was, listening, and that's why I'm so glad to have been a part of it for a short period of time.
You're here. That was really well said, Tabby. That's exactly it. The Paranormal View just talked about everything in the paranormal with equal level. Yeah. That's what made it fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, and all of the hosts, no matter who they've been, and when I first started listening, at the time it was Henry and Jeff and Barbara and Kat and Craig. And then over the years, it just developed into, various different ones. And eventually it was just the four of you. And I continued to listen. And it was my favorite show. And darn it, I'm just sad it's leaving. But all things come to an end.
Yeah.
And, you know, the show would not have been what it is without my co-hosts, because I'm not the sharpest knife in the box, you might say. And from time to time, they've had to help keep me straight. And
Henry, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have been on the air. Any of us wouldn't have been on the air. And I'll tell you, if, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have said yes. I would like to be a co-host for the short period of time I was. And, you know, I suppose it's your humor, it's your insight, it's your questions, your curiosity. And to me, that's what's made the show. And it isn't because you're just talking to the guests, you're asking them questions and everything. And that's what was so fascinating. And, you know, if not for that, the show wouldn't have been what it was. Yeah, I'm going to stroke your ego, and hopefully one of these days you'll give me a loan. But, you know, what can I say? Henry, I just absolutely adore you.
Do you need a nickel?
Oh, no, more than that, but, you know, we'll discuss that offline.
I got a cherry that fell off.
Oh, yeah, that's still a topic you still have to address before this show ends.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, what are some of the guests that you guys really liked that we had on the show?
I remember Mac Maloney being very cool with his little crew.
Yes.
Mr. One Lunch. Yeah.
He has a show on Parax, too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
We didn't do enough pirates.
I don't.
We had a couple of shows on pirates, but
I guess we did have a couple shows on pirates. Some of the topics that we actually talked about was like crystal skulls, UFOs, the planet, ghosts,
and crop circles.
Yes, crop circle, EVPs. We kind of. And the different guests would even have different topics. We had a lot of authors on. It was very good. So without the people, we wouldn't have had a show. And without you guys, we wouldn't have had a show. So I just want to thank not only each one of you, but also the people who would come and listen to the show. I appreciate all of you. I hate to retire, but it's time, because to me, when you had to get ready every Saturday for a show, it means you had to do research to get a guest and topic. You had to research all that. And to be able to do all that, to me, it got to be taking a lot of my time. And I still want to be able to go out and investigate and do things like that. But that'll free, not having to worry about doing a show will free all that up. I mean, I'm not doing much right now still because of COVID's not totally done with. And it just hasn't been the right time to get back out and try to do things like that.
Yeah.
So,
and what people don't realize is exactly how much goes into a show each week.
Yeah.
And, you know, not only that, but all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the work you have to do. Henry's right, the research, right down to booking the guests, but also manning the controls and the recording and all of that. And, you know, that's a rare breed that can actually work all of that equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That just takes a lot of effort. So,
yeah. And then also keeping up with all the maintenance.
yes.
All that stuff is tricky. How many times has Skype decided to update right as we're about to record?
Every week.
And Skype, what I understand, has totally changed.
Of course, I fell off.
So
Oh, you're there, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're just, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We hear you.
I mentioned
Come back
that
to us, Jeff.
I've met-
Come back to the light.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Come to the light.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I've
Jeff,
met-
tell your
I've met-
Jeff, tell your raccoons to stay off the computer.
Yeah, exactly. But I met our author and artist Leah Scott Price, and I was trying to remember. We've not had the Booth brothers on as guests, have we?
No, I don't
No.
believe so.
Oh, didn't we?
I've talked to them at conventions, but we haven't had them on as guest.
Yeah, I met them at the Queen Mary, and the late Don Shy, who we have had as a guest. She ran the paranormal convention I attended on the Queen Mary, where I got my first and so far only EVP, which was really cool. And I also got to meet and had dinner with Beth Brown.
Where'd you do that at? Did she come out there?
She came out to California. She was working at pitching a new celebrity haunted house show, and she had been in contact with Eric Roberts and she had actually filmed at his home, and the show didn't get picked up. But while she was in town, I said we need to get together. So I went out to the Valley, and we had a nice dinner. And she was still I don't want to say in with, but she was still very close with Brian Byers. If you remember him from way back.
Yeah, he was his own show on here for a while.
Yeah, I think I was a guest on that or so. And she couldn't resist doing a video of she and I together and chiding him that she got to meet me first.
Wow.
I keep waiting for that call for him to say, come on, we're going to make a movie and you're in it.
So, I guess it's kind of running real fast, you might say. I do appreciate each and every one, not just the hosts, but those who did come in to listen. It's been a great time doing the show, and like Barbara said, it takes a lot to be able to organize it, schedule it, research it, and to be able to produce a show every week. I think that also was taking a lot, which I enjoyed it, but I think it was time to go ahead and do one final show. I wanted to do a final show instead of just quitting. And I wanted to thank everybody who was a fan who would come and listen to the shows. All of our old shows, I think I have a few of them early on, but Jeff has most all of them posted. Ever since he started. He's got all the shows on YouTube. And
No, I'm working on that.
Oh, you're working on it.
Yeah, that's the next stage. I've had since the lockdowns started. That's when I started making YouTube versions, but I haven't done earlier than that and prior to my tenure, which you're going to see which audio files you can send along. I thought it was interesting. You sent me the Deborah Blake audio, and I looked. I thought, oh, I've already got this. And then I found out you sent it on her birthday, which was the day before mine. And I mentioned this to her when I wished her a happy birthday, and she's like, "Your birthday's tomorrow. We're practically twins."
All right, just let me know which ones you don't, and what is the website address to be able to go because I typed in the Paranormal View that I had put up, and I've only got like 4 shows on there before you started doing them, but you've got a different site. And what is?
Yeah, if you right now it's like garbled letters. It's like they generated it. The show isn't established enough, or it doesn't have enough subscribers to be able to just call it The Paranormal View. But if you go to YouTube and you search for the words The Paranormal View, it'll bring up a few videos, but it'll also bring up the 2 channels, yours and mine. Mine has more videos and less subscribers, and Henry's version has only a handful of shows but more subscribers. So I'm going to have to log in as a Paranormal View and go into the other channel and say, by the way, we're over here now.
Yeah, it's they have the exact same logo variation. So Henry's has the triangle, and yours, Jeff, has just the lettering with the spirit person behind.
No, the Gray Ghost.
Yeah, the Gray Ghost.
No, I got the Gray Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cooler.
Yeah. So, yeah, at some point, but they're both the Paranormal View. Go to the one with the Gray Ghost, everyone. Which reminds me, what are all of you doing now that the Paranormal View is ending? Are you moving on to your own shows? Are you just stopping, just taking a break?
I'm on through Blue Topaz on Monday nights, and maybe another little show later, but we won't discuss that now.
Okay.
Well, you have to let me know when that happens, and I'll see what I can do about tuning in and listening.
Okay.
How about you, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, we got the show.
We've got about 8 minutes left. So is there any questions the people in the chat room might have that they want to know before we have to run? And is there anything that you guys have to say, ask, or whatever? What are you guys going to be doing?
Questions. I think we've talked a lot about what we've been up to. I know a lot of people are wishing the best for you and Patsy, Henry, and
thank them.
the rest of the gang. Yeah.
I know.
It's a hard work. 14 years, man. So many shows.
Yes, it is. And I only have shows from 2010 on. The 2009 and 2010, I have very few of those shows, mainly because it was when Beth was here, and she did all the recording. And unfortunately, all those shows that she recorded got lost. They were on a computer, and it crashed. Come on, not now. So, but from like 2010 on, I do have most all the shows. And most of them had been on Para X. Now, I don't know how much Barbara's going to replay them or different things like that, but we do have tons of shows out there.
Yeah. So, Henry, what is your favorite show? What sticks out in your mind in those 14 years? What do you think of
shows that we've done?
Yeah, or places we visited.
Oh, I thought the Bell Nursing Home was good.
Yeah.
I liked the David Stewart Farm.
Yeah.
We did the show from there, and I actually got to see the soldiers or the wounded ones smoking. So I thought that was really nice. I guess the house in Middletown I had the best EVPs from.
Yeah.
I can't complain about that.
Is that the place that you went with Lynn Bell?
Yes, I was there with Bell. Yeah.
I was there too.
Was you there then?
I was.
You were there. Yeah.
Yep. Because we saw this shadow person walking through the kitchen when we were all outside.
Right. Right.
And we're just like, hold up. We're all accounted for. Who's that?
Well, I had some good EVPs from there. Timmy was in the master bedroom, and he was on the far side of the bed, and all of a sudden it was like a coin bounced off the side table. And wasn't nobody in there. I've got that recording, too.
Yeah. That place was amazing.
It was. It was. And you said there was all kinds of spirits on the outside.
Oh, goodness. Like, Lynn and I walked outside and were like, you can't, there are so many layered years of spirits here. You had Native American groups walking through. You had Union soldiers walking through, not to fight, but just moving the troops, basically. So much movement back there. And it was an interesting place where that house was built. High energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, guests that I really liked, I can't narrow one, but I'll give you three of them.
Okay.
Thomas Workman, he has always been a fantastic guest.
Mm-hmm.
Don Allison,
Mm-hmm.
and Steve Shockley.
Yes, that's a very good trio.
I had the most fun, and Thomas always had great stories that he could tell about different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the history and things that goes on that public don't hear about sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Very good with that.
Yeah.
So that would be my three top guests, I think,
Yeah.
that I really liked.
Yeah, they're good. I like listening to both Don, with all three of them. They had great stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, of course, Steve, he was just always a riot.
Yes, Steve. The party started as soon as Steve arrived.
Yeah.
Every single time. Also, the roasting also happened as soon as he arrived. It didn't matter who it was.
The ones that I would like to have met and through the course of the years wasn't able to is Geoffrey Gould and Barbara Duncan.
Yes.
If I could have ever got to the West Coast, I'd have really liked that. But unfortunately, I don't foresee me being able to go out there.
Well, when they put in that 3-hour train ride, Henry, baby.
Well, yeah. Now, that wasn't on me. That was on somebody else who said, "Oh, it only takes 6 hours to get there."
Oh my God.
That's a callback.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting, though. I've enjoyed the show with each and every one of you guys. I appreciate each one of you. And if you ever want to talk or whatever, just send me a message. And hopefully I'll be able to do some investigating here before too long. And maybe some of you guys can join and have some good memories. So,
Well, at least with the Paranormal View, with that honor, you got to see a ghost and lose your cherry.
yes.
I will
my
endure.
God.
Yes. And Henry, we will invite you to our ghost adventures with the Cabinet of Curiosities in the future.
That sounds like a winner.
Yes.
Now-
We're local and we do things in the daytime.
Good. That's fine with me. I mean,
Nothing in the
I don't like to drive at night anyway. I do want to thank you guys and appreciate all the work that you guys have done. And I hope with your endeavors that things go really well with you. I know Jeff's been able to do some work now and doing some things, so that's great for him. With that, we're down to what? I don't have a second count on my thing, but it'll be coming up here soon, I know.
It's time.
It's time. Well, I want to thank you guys and all the listeners, and I know this is the Paranormal View.
You've been listening to the Paranormal View on the ParaX Radio Network. Join us again next week at the same time for more of the Paranormal View.